With stoppage of mining and slowdown of the tourism sector, it was the manufacturing sector which rose to the occasion and kept the Goan economy running. The manufacturing sector had its own set of problems: lack of quality power, irregular supply of water, non-availability of land, shortage of skilled labor, ease of doing business, and so forth. But with a senior minister like Mr. Mauvin Godinho in charge, the scenario has changed for better and at a very fast pace. The new industrial policy for Goa, the logistics and the warehousing policy, the positive changes in the GIDC functioning has helped the manufacturing sector to play its meaningful role in the state economy. He is also spearheading Goa in the GST Council. We look forward to many more reforms for him. It's my pleasure to invite the Hon'ble Minister, Mr. Mauvin Godinho, to address the gathering. Please welcome Mr. Godinho.
The newly elected GCCI President, my good friend and eminent industry in Goa, Mr. Srinivas Dempo, Ms. Amira Shah, the keynote speaker of this evening, Mr. Yatin Kakodkar, Mrs. Pratima Don, the outgoing president of GCCI, Mr. Ralph D'Souza, Mr. Chandrakant Gawas, my good friend Mr. Sanjay Amonkar, eminent industrialists, officials, ladies and gentlemen. I think at the 115th AGM, you have elected a very dynamic, experienced, and one of the topmost industrialists at the helm of affairs. At the outset itself, I want to say hearty congratulations to him with great expectations for the industry, for Goa, and for the growth of trade, commerce, and industry. I think after the keynote speaker has spoken, so vividly describing the scenarios of business, of the industry, of trade, and as to how one has to really cope up with challenges in one's enterprise, whether it is a business, whether it is trading, or whether it is industry itself. I think she has made things very clear, and I'm sure many of our Goan industrialists will draw inspiration the way it was put forward and the way a person has to face challenges. And I think at some point of time, all of you must have encountered such challenges. All of you must have faced problems. All of you have grown from what you were, from a small-time enterprise, from an MSME to a medium industry to a large industry, small business to a large business in various fields. We have seen Goa growing. It is not the Goa of yesteryears. As we used to say and call ourselves, Sushagad Goans, laid back, relaxed most of the time, and no hard work. That was the impression, literally going everywhere. It also used to happen. Now, in the entire change scenario, we Goans have become very hardworking, more enterprising, more energy. Of course, they have not forgotten to relax. In fact, they are teaching the world to do good business, work hard and relax. And that's how the whole world comes to Goa. I must say, and I think I must have addressed and said this before in various forums. Even we traveled all over the country and on our road shows. And I must compliment Ralph and Sanjay and all the others for taking me around the country to various chambers. We were interested in creating a new atmosphere, a lively atmosphere where people wanted to connect more with Goa, get something which is more relevant to Goa, whether it is industry or trade. I told them only one thing: you can do business anywhere in the world. You can expand anywhere. You will have more, perhaps, incentives being given by various governments, various organizations in other larger states. Land would almost be free. But tell me one thing, in your life, if you only think of doing business all the way, and When there is nothing more interesting in your life, what will your life be? Only expanding, only growing, having the money? In Goa, you can simply do business with pleasure. You can have pleasurable things, do good business, expand. And that is the opportunity, and that's the difference between doing business anywhere else and in Goa. And at that point of time, if Ralph remembers, in the Gujarat chamber, I think, and thereafter at Delhi, I had said, Goa is a one blessed place where we have all the natural resources. We have been blessed with a good climate. We have been blessed with good people. We have been blessed with nature, lovely greenery, a clean environment. We only need to build up and build up well, brick by brick, in a manner that you sustain the environment. You get people to do at best what they are good at doing, and then move forward. Why are we not exploiting this opportunity? At that point of time, I did give 2 examples. And I'm happy that a very successful businesswoman who has come up also mentioned Dubai. And I mentioned 2 places at that point of time, which I will be loath to again mention it. Take examples, I always say. We don't want to be copycats, to copy them, whether it's Dubai or whether it is Singapore. We are much more than that. We are naturally blessed with all the resources. Why can't we build up and make Goa not only a world-class tourism destination, which it already is, it can be one of the best industrial investment destination, whether for trade or commerce or for industry. And that is what all of you are capable of doing. What happens normally is, we don't like taking risks. We don't like to strain beyond a certain point of time. We go up till a certain level and then we perhaps feel. So for one to truly succeed in life, we need to do that something extra, which we all are capable of. It's not that this country has not moved forward. And I think you'll bear with me, and all the industrialists and general public will agree, that what perhaps we have moved forward in the last decade or so, the speed with which we have been moving, we were not moving previously at the same speed and with the same gusto or with new policies. The biggest reform, as I call it, because I represent Goa at the GST Council, is the GST reform which was introduced. Previous governments tried to get this reform. Previous people struggled to get it on the table for implementation. And I remember a moment before July 1st, 2017, when it was implemented. I was closeted along with just another one minister, with Arun Jaitley ji, the late finance minister. We were assessing whether we will implement it now in July or will take some time. I told him, if you delay this, we are ready. Teething problems are always going to be there. Then there can never be an ideal situation, everything coming perfect on the first go. We will go ahead. Please convince all the others. And he told me at that point of time, Prime Minister is very keen to do it as early as possible. I said, then why are you a little bit hesitating? And a few people pushed him at that point of time. I was there with him all the time. And that meeting at that point of time took place in Srinagar. We said, let us go ahead. And then he called me up, especially at that point of time, to tell me, Mauvin, we are going ahead in July. I said, that's good news, fantastic. And at every GST Council meeting at that point of time, I want to mention here, there were more pessimists than optimists. Oh, this is happening, this is not working well, this has not been well thought out. These are going to be the problems, credits are going to be brought for this particular section of industry, this. I said, these are teething problems. When you introduce in such a large reform, one of the biggest reforms, that too in financial jargon, you're changing the way a nation will be taxed, indirect taxation, one nation, one tax. Those problems are bound to be there. And I was one optimist who said, in the shortest possible time, we will succeed. You only have to get your electronic system working, GST and working well. That will be the biggest challenge. These are the things what we need to do. And I must say today, at the end, in the 6th year, end of 5 years, the whole world compliments us for having succeeded in such a large reform, in such a large country. I call ourselves a combination of countries. It is so whole of Europe put together several times. It is so many countries put together. We are so diverse, yet and so large, yet we are able to survive. And today we have moved to being the 5th largest economy in the world. Perhaps in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, maybe we move to the 2nd position. It is possible. It depends on all of you. And it depends on all of you and organizations like the Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry here in Goa and various other such bodies which connect industry to the government, which connect industry to the stakeholders, which are able to do and connect and get people at the right place in the right manner, which we are bound to produce results. And today, you know how well our country is succeeding under the dynamic leadership of our Prime Minister. We have moved several strides ahead. At one point of time, there was, I must say, total policy paralysis. Today, there is no policy paralysis. Look at what happened to our leadership. Second time addressing, I should say, parliamentarians or the senators in the US House, getting a standing ovation 15 times over and over again, being applauded for all the policies. There will be always pessimists, there will be always critics, there will always people on the other side. One has to stay focused, whether in politics, whether in industry, whether in trade. You have to keep the goal before you forward. You have to say, yes, I can, I will achieve this. I must say, Goa also have moved several strides ahead, much more than what people expected. First it was Sri Manohar Parrikar. Now we have a dynamic and young Chief Minister in the persona of Dr. Pramod Sawant. Have we not moved forward? Are we not moving? See the infrastructure that has been developed. See the other infrastructural works that are taking place, whether in the north of Goa or in the south of Goa. See the industrial policy that has changed. We have brought a brand new industrial policy when I took over. Recently we introduced the warehousing and logistics policy. We are mostly people who like white-collar jobs, Goans. Make Goa one of the largest trading hubs which it can become. Trading, which we like. People who have gone abroad will come back. You will have more people coming back than going outside. That day is going to come, whether in whole of India or in Goa. I look forward to that scenario. And it is possible. And we should get good eco-friendly industry. Pharmaceutical industry, I think, is already one of the biggest industry in Goa. In Verna, we have the largest presence. We were called the pharmacy to the world to the largest extent. Almost 15% of the medicines went from Goa. Today we are trying to get medical instruments of various types or manufactured in Goa. We want to promote a whole new industrial estate for that. This is the way we are moving forward. So industry also definitely has a large opportunity to grow, to move forward and make Goa not only one of the best tourism destination, also to make one of the nicest place to work, business with pleasure, industry pleasurably doing their businesses, attracting the best talent. Who would not like to live in Goa? I was happy when Amira Shah said that she is going to have a home in Goa. And there are many like her, which really pleases me. People choose Goa, and why not? It is a God-blessed place. Even when big seminars and big meetings or conventions take place, when I'm invited, I remind them. And they confess to me after the seminar or the function is over. Here we like to be here. The atmosphere is very infectious. And beautiful, wholesome thoughts come to our mind. The best of talent that is necessary gets connected. The best part of your brain works and newer ideas come to the fore and we do the best. This is the mantra, because I call it a God's God-blessed place. Like Kerala always boasts, gods dwell in Kerala, that is God's abode or whatever. I said, no. If it is God's own country, Kerala is God's own country, I always tell them, even this has been the argument in the GST Council, I say all the gods live in Goa. That's why we are blessed. We are blessed with everything that one humanity would welcome and humans would want. So this is the way we would plan to take Goa forward. I want to assure Srinivas Dempo, who has taken over as the GCCI president, that we will give you the fullest of cooperation, and whatever necessary from the government, you will be getting it. And you know very well, even our Honorable Chief Minister has been very forthcoming, cooperating, giving full support. And I'm sure with you taking over and with Ralph as the outgoing president, he himself has had so much of experience of good collaboration, good cooperation, and the moving forward. And it is in this manner that we want to grow and move forward. Lastly, though it would be besides the point, I want to mention here, new propaganda, because next year are the parliamentary election, that there is a lot of pressure on foreign airlines, or Dabolim airport is again going for closure, only MOPA will survive. I have the airport director right here. Ask him what is the statistics. Rather, whether it is foreign airline, whether it is domestic airline, they are asking for more slots. The number of flights landing and taking off is only increasing at Dabolim. So this is all false propaganda. Goa is one place, the best preferred destination for tourism. MOPA has connected with 23 or more newer destinations. MOPA also will be there. Dabolim also will be there. Just as we Goans like to give everybody a good choice. It is your choice whether you want to land south in Dabolim, or it's your choice whether you want to land or take off at north of Goa, that is the MOPA airport. With this, I want to that controversy to be laid at rest for once. With this clarification, at least to you industrialists. And you all know how important it is that Goa, we should have wholesome development, all-round development. In fact, I have been telling my Chief Minister, Goa North, they always consider a happening place. Kitol, where we had the Defense Expo, one of the largest chunks of land which is available with our Industries Development Corporation. And my Honorable Chief Minister is committed to developing that in a very different manner. Because one industry, what we have to think big, is the entertainment industry, is the film industry. With the Goa being the permanent center for the Film Festival of India, we have to think on those lines as well. And it is bound to develop into an awesome place, Kitol in Kepen Taluka. Once that happens, both north and south, there will be equally good events happening, equally good things available. As it is, there are the largest number of five-star hotels in the south. Now, north is competing. It is nothing north versus south. It is Goa as a whole. We would like Goa developed well in a balanced manner to take us to the greatest height, to be known not only as the best state in India, to be known not only as the best place in the country, but to be known as the best destination in the world that one can go, whether for pleasure, whether for business, whether for tourism, whether for trade or for commerce. And that is the promise I give to you with my fullest cooperation to the new president, to the GCCI, and to all of you captains of industry. With these few words, I say all the very best, and all the very best to Shrini and his team. Thank you very much indeed.